When we look at the world today, there is no doubt that we face a myriad of problems. Everywhere we look, we see environmental damage, out-of-control mining companies, wars, starvation, and poverty. In our attempts to address these issues, we see no other way other than to use the pathways that are provided for us by the system. We tend to always adopt a compartmentalized approach, and we protest mining companies, we petition our governments, we vote people in and vote people out, but nothing ever seems to change. But perhaps that is because we are not looking at things as a whole, and because we are not looking at them from a more human perspective. When we do step back and look at things as a whole, it becomes apparent that every single problem that we face on this earth is a result of legislation that has been put in place by people who populate the corridors of power in all of our countries. It is these people who have created the situation the world now faces. And so therefore it becomes apparent that what is needed when dealing with this situation is to mount an action that can be applied to all of the offending politicians. An action that will bring about a remedy for all of mankind across the board. When one does step back and assess the world as a whole, it becomes apparent that there is a situation that can provide an action that can be applied to virtually every politician in the Western world. And that situation is Palestine, most specifically the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Strip is an area of land 25 miles long and roughly 4.5 miles wide, and has been rightly described by many as the world's largest open-air prison. It is currently home to 1.8 million people, well over half of which are children, who are being held in a state of collective punishment and who are being forced to live and suffer a life of indescribable poverty and hardship at the hands of one of the most powerful military forces on earth. Gaza Strip constitutes a human rights abuse of massive proportions, and indeed simple child abuse. The average age in Gaza Strip is just 17. As Gaza Strip constitutes collective punishment, its mere existence is a breach of Article 33 of the Fourth Geneva Convention and is thus a war crime. This is not a debatable point, it is a fact. This open war crime has been staring the world in the face since 2007 and has been able to continue solely due to the fact that it is being supported and funded by the hundreds, if not thousands, of Western politicians who are supporting and funding Israel in its perpetuation of this war crime. This provides mankind with a very real opportunity to address every problem in one action, because the very existence of Gaza Strip provides mankind with a tool, for it gives us the legal and lawful right to arrest every politician, the heads of every banking institution, every corporate head, and every media institution in the world who has ever funded, supported, or spoken in favour of this open war crime. And not only that, it also gives mankind the moral obligation to do what is right and to follow it through. Israeli soldiers have killed over 560 children in Gaza just in the last year, and over 2,000 Palestinian children since the year 2000. The situation in Gaza has become intolerable, while the world sits idly by and does nothing, and the time has come for us to now act. Because without intervention by the people of the world, the 1.8 million people confined within the horror that is Gaza Strip simply will not survive. Since the Israeli military aggression in 2014, there is virtually no usable water left in Gaza. The situation is growing worse by the day, and without people making their voices heard in a way that will make a difference, the people in the Gaza Strip will not be able to hold out much longer. If your government is supporting or funding the State of Israel, then make no mistake about it. Your government is supporting and funding child abuse and war crimes, and it is funding the slow genocide of the Palestinian people. If your government is supporting the State of Israel, I ask everybody who's watching this video to write and to call your local politician and to ask them to please show cause where we should not express a loss of confidence in our government's ability to govern and take the necessary steps to not only have them dismissed, but held accountable and prosecuted for their actions under Article 33 of the Fourth Geneva Convention. Indeed, one could question if they are not prepared to answer, and they are not prepared to deal with this situation, then would it not be the right of the people to intervene and remove them for trial? The situation in Gaza is not a matter of Palestinian against Israeli or Muslim against Jew. It is a matter of children being held in prison. And the degree of suffering we see inflicted upon the people in the horror that is Gaza Strip, and the crimes of Israel against the Palestinian people in general, are an affront against all that it means to be human. These crimes are providing mankind with a golden key to be able to remove all of the politicians who are creating all of the damage that we see on the earth today. And it is our right and it is our duty to address this situation, because if we do not, and we allow the people of Gaza to suffer the fate that now lays before them, if we fail to act and address this issue, then the way of Palestine will be the way of the world. Please share this video.